Hello everyone, my name is AZZATRU, how are you, and welcome to another Star Wars Battlefront 2 Q&A video, and it's one of those videos where I take questions from you guys on what content I'd like to see, what things I'd like to see changed about Battlefront 2, plus maybe some Fallen Order or LEGO Star Wars questions involved as well on the previous video. And last time I did this, it was before Gamescom, and since then we've had a lot of news, such as Clone Commandos being announced, Episode 9 content, stuff like that. So there was a lot of questions that were sort of redundant and were answered with the news that we got at Gamescom, but I thought I'd pick up some of them that weren't answered or I could further elaborate on, plus some questions I've just gotten today that I've posted on the community tab and got a few questions from you guys, because it would be a bit more up to date now you have the full information about what is coming for the rest of this year. I do want to remind you, though, that some people didn't think Clone Commandos were ever going to come to the game, and there were a lot of comments on the last Q&A video saying Clone Commandos aren't coming. Well, they're here in like 2 weeks. The first question I'm going to be answering is from Will Smith. I mean, of course he watches Battlefront 2 videos. Will Flusha be delayed due to the amount of bugs in the game? No, it will not. Ben confirmed it was still on track a few days ago, I believe. Plus, even if the game was super buggy, it would still release because it's a map and it's not anything to do with lightsaber combat issues and stuff like that. The people that work on this map aren't the people that work on lightsaber combat and stuff like that. So just putting it out there, it's not going to be delayed. It's still coming on September 25th with Clone Commandos and a few other things. Next up, I've got a couple of questions I thought I'd merge into one segment as they're somewhat related. So Ballistic End asks, do you agree that we need weapons more than reinforcements? We use troopers most and we would be able to use them in any trooper mode. Kind of agree with you on that one, but there's a reasoning why DICE are focusing on reinforcements over just weapons for trooper classes. Dennis has said that the weapon system is flawed to an extent because it was not really made with future-proofing in mind. You have weapons, like the base weapons, that don't have any attachments, and if they introduced 4 new weapons to the trooper classes, they'd have to add modifications, so attachments, they'd have to balance the game completely even more, but they should definitely overhaul it, because Callum Derbyshire says, how would you feel if we got new infantry weapons with the current system, or how would you revamp the infantry weapons system? I think they should just revamp it completely, like essentially a brand new system that allows for more customization and more options freely with newer weapons instead of just building off a broken system. Reinforcements are very, very cool and have a lot more character to them than standard troopers, like more interesting abilities, stuff like that, and I think they should focus on reinforcements, but bring in new weapons with the reinforcements, and that's what they're doing with the Clone Commando, the BX, the Droideka, the ARC Trooper. That's what they've been doing, and I'd like to see that continue. Zuni Music asks, how small is DICE's development team? Forgive how time-efficient modders are when it comes to developing skins, modded units, and so on. Do you think there's a particular reason why DICE seem to be 7 steps back each update? You have more new mods in every showcase that make this game more interesting so they can in a 4-month plan. Well, it's a very complex subject, this. I think DICE's development team is probably just under 100 people, but modding is not the same as creating new assets. Modding takes the existing assets already made by DICE in-game, replacing them with something in Photoshop or whatever, you change it, and then putting it into the game, but you not making a new asset, like you're literally reusing something DICE has already made. It also comes with a lot of bugs and isn't up to Lucasfilm approval standards, and there's, these modders are fantastic, but they have very limited things they can do, and DICE have so many more tools and things they have to go through. Like, for example, a lot of mods probably wouldn't run on an Xbox One or PS4. DICE would have to scale them back or not do them at all if they were to come to the consoles. It's just one of those things that happens with consoles. In terms of bugs, the QA isn't as expansive as it should be. There definitely needs to be more people, and it seems like some bugs just happen after they've tested it. Even when they've tested it and things look okay, it's like the Lando glitch, remember from the first game? They tested that and it was completely fine until they rolled it out. Like, it was fine when they played on it and stuff like that. So, it's the wonderful weird world of game development. Flaming Python asks, "Dear AZZATRU, cheers to your channel, mate. I wonder if you had to choose what kind of future event skins, if there were to be one, would you like added?" Thank you very much, Flaming Panda. I appreciate that comment. I would like to see something like, next year it's the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back's release. Maybe a Bespin Luke skin for the 40th anniversary would be very good, or maybe a skin for Finn when Episode 9 comes out. Like, his Episode 9 appearance is not a purchasable skin, but an event skin. Maybe when the film comes out, for the next few days, you get 70 kills as Finn, as a community, something along those lines. I just think it's best if they stick to theming things around a certain particular occasion. It just makes it feel a bit better. Like, the May 4th skin was perfect, and I'd like to see that a little bit more than just random emotes and victory poses during the summer. Inferno X300 asks, "Would you like to see a melee class base? For example, Separatists could have Magna Guards, Electro Staffs, the Republic could have a Jedi Temple Guard, the Empire could have a Royal Guard, and the First Order could have Praetorian Guards." I would like to see this. I don't know how it would work in-game. That would be for DICE to figure out, because they wouldn't be good enough to fight off heroes, but what if they're not so good against troopers because they don't have the range, something along those lines. But for example, I'd love to see the Praetorian Guards or the Royal Guards in the game. Can you imagine the Knights of Ren as maybe a reinforcement for the First Order, possibly? Something along those lines. They're all melee weapons holders, so I think it could happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. Well, it's definitely not going to happen this year. Maybe next year, hopefully. It would be interesting. I just don't know how it's going to work. I mean, the Magna Guards are a very requested piece of content, so I'm sure DICE have thought of it. Whether it will happen, I don't know. Reptile Nerd asks, "Do you think that we'll get ARC Trooper skins, and will there be characters like 5 Echo, Captain Rex, or just colour variations?" I believe we'll be getting just colour variations, maybe like a 501st Legion Trooper or something like that, if we do get ARC Trooper skins, because we know we're going to be getting reinforcement skins, but whether we'll be getting ARC Trooper skins, we just don't know yet. I assume we will. I just can't see them doing 5s or Captain Rex or Echo, because they're not characters, they're just basic troopers with a little bit of customization to them. They don't have the name in the UI, they don't have special abilities that make them different. But who knows, maybe they may do some markings like 5s, but just not call it 5, just call it like 501st Clone Trooper or something like that. A lot of you have been asking for my thoughts on original trilogy content, so I'm just going to bundle you all together because there is just so many of you guys. Well, once the sequel trilogy stuff happens in December and November, I believe, and then we have the film come out, Episode 9, I think January to March should be all original trilogy stuff. Maybe some content from the last game, but I kind of want to see newer stuff because we've spent so many hours in the older game playing that stuff. But I'd love to see the first Death Star map maybe come back, or Salust. I think Salust would be pretty cool from the Outer Rim DLC. There definitely needs to be skins for the Empire and Rebellion. If there will not be at the start of next year, I don't know what's going to happen, because the Empire deserves so much more love. Oh, and I'd love to see Capital Supremacy, Original Trilogy, a Star Destroyer, and a Mon Cal Cruiser. That is what I want to see. General Speed asks, Captain Rex or Padme? As for a hero, I want to see Padme. People will say my reasoning isn't good, but hear me out. We already have an ARC Trooper in the game. Essentially Rex. Rex wouldn't really have that really good or unique abilities in comparison, and would feel pretty much the same. Some people will say, well, Leia would just be like Padme then. She could share the sort of same abilities. But would she though? I feel like she could have different stuff, and she is a main pillar of the Skywalker saga as opposed to Captain Rex. He is just a clone trooper that we like from a TV show, but Padme gave birth to the main character of the saga. Her husband is Anakin, the Chosen One. Not to forget Princess Leia as well. Like, she's an integral part to the story, the characters, and she is a very good character in the fact that she is a senator that always does right, as opposed to Captain Rex, who, no offense to him because I really like him, but he's a clone trooper. And she's a lot more iconic than him. She could have so many appearances. Like, how many appearances does she have in the films alone? Like, there could be so many skin options, as opposed to Captain Rex, which he has a few, but they're not as exciting. I know that's going to be a controversial opinion, but I'm just stating my opinion. And last but not least, I've got a question from Deathstroke32, and he asks, do you think we'll be getting content for Clone Wars Season 7, for example, skins? I think we will. Judging how they've worked with the Solo and the Episode 9 stuff, I think they're going to skip Mandalorian, and when Season 7 starts to come out, I think we'll get something to do with Season 7, like the 322nd Trooper as a Legion. That would be something I'd expect to see. I don't really know if we'll be getting anything else, maybe Ahsoka or Ventress, who knows at this point. But that's going to do it from me. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more videos like this. But remember, you can leave your questions to be answered by me in the next Q&A like this. I'll probably do one in about 2 to 3 weeks time, so I won't leave it as long, but we will have probably Felucia out by that point, so things may change, and I'll try and get as many questions from you guys as possible that aren't sort of outdated. But remember, if you see any that you like, remember to hit the thumbs up on their comment so it gets seen more likely at the top of the comment section. But that is going to do it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Check out any of the 2 previous videos on screen if you did miss them, and I shall see you all in my next Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Goodbye.